Hi everyone! Today I'm making a nice Christmas tree ornament out of a few ingredients like paper strips, wire and scissors and masking tape. I would like to invite you to follow my step-by-step tutorial and you can make your own beautiful gift for your friends and family. I was thinking of making something different, something bright and fun and lovely. So this umbrella looks like a great idea for our Christmas tree. Okay, so that's the final version of it, but let's start from the beginning, step by step. I already made this rigid paper bowl that I will use as a mold for my paper cast. So I take a piece of aluminum foil, just place it over the paper bowl and just try to get that nice form. Just keep pressing down until it's all flat like this. Okay, so once I'm happy with that, I already prepared some masking tape, and actually I may need longer ones at the beginning. So I'm just gonna start from the top, from the middle, and just try to cover the whole area. I'm sure it's not gonna be perfect because I'm watching the clock here. I want to work as fast as possible so that I don't take up all your time. But usually it will take longer if you want to be sure that you get a nice form. Or if you like to work fast, you can do like I do right now, just quick and fast. But I usually take my time. Although I'm not a perfectionist, I still try to do a good job and probably take a lot longer than I'm doing right now. So it's starting to look like a porcupine here. Almost there. One more here, one more there. Or maybe it looks like a sun. Ooh, I don't know. It's an interesting form. Anyway, okay, one more here, and I think I covered everything. Yeah. So now I'm trying to find the very edge. Just press down on it and you will see the contour of it, right? And then just open this up like that. Carefully try to keep the shape and remove the paper ball. And now that I see the contour there, maybe I can make it a bit more visible for you. That's where it is. Can you see that? There we go. Like that. All around it, and that should guide my scissors. I follow the line and try to keep that form at all times. All right. there. And then I'm just gonna turn it around, cut the edges off. After, just turn it around like this. All right, that looks good. And do the same thing with the other side as well. Okay, so now that you get an idea how to do this cast, I will probably not finish it, just go to the next step. But what I do when I'm all done on this side, I'm just gonna turn it around and just tape this on. It will strengthen the form, so it doesn't hurt it at all. Like that, right? So you finish the other side as well. And then, well, you know what? I better finish this. It's not that hard. It won't take long either. Meanwhile, I would like to let you know that I have different playlists on my channel. Please check them out. I have tons of tutorials and very useful tips. Whether you're a beginner or more advanced, I'm sure you can find something of interest, something that you might use in your own work. You know, just we can always learn from each other. And we can always use new ideas in whatever we do. Okay, and I would like to ask you, if you're new, to please subscribe to my channel. I will probably be doing more lives as I go along, as I'm getting closer to that 1,000 subscriber milestone. And yeah, I would appreciate it if you would subscribe, and I welcome comments, questions, likes, shares, whatever you can do. I appreciate that. So here we are. I'm finished with the form. Nice and round. And the next step is to tear some paper strips like these. And I will show you how to do it. Like, you can go against the grain when you have a piece of paper like this. Let me show you. Like, you try to tear a strip and it's not that nice, right? If you go the other way, it's a lot easier to do it. So I always try not to go against the grain. I guess it comes with experience. Oops, that wasn't good. That's how you find out this is the right way to do it. All right, I think I have enough. I'm just gonna show you, just demonstrated how I covered this with paper strips, but I'm not gonna finish it. I don't want to spend too much time on it. We're just gonna move on because I already have some prepared on the side here. Okay, so I made this paste out of flour. It's kind of old, 2 days old, but when it's fresh, it's much better to use fresh. But I can use whatever I have, the second or even the third day, but that's about it. After that, it gets really moldy. So you will find lots of recipe how to do the paste, but it's really easy. You just take, say, not a large amount, maybe 1 spoonful of flour, mix it with some water, make it smooth, very watery, like, I don't know, like juice maybe, very watery. And then you just bring it to a boil until you get a creamy substance like this. As it gets older, it hardens a bit. So this is really paste-like right now, but I actually prefer it when it's a little bit more liquidy. But it doesn't really matter. Both work very well. Just don't make it too watery, because then it will lose its stickiness, so it won't stick to the paper, to the tape. All right, so let's start. In the beginning, I'm just gonna take little bits and just cover the whole strip of paper and just stick it on. That's it. Make sure it sticks, and then take the next strip and put some paste on it, and you will want to work with it in not the same direction, like across like this. Okay, in every direction, because that will keep the bond stronger. All right, so this is what I do when I get close to the edge. Then I just turn it like that. Here we go. So you get the idea. This is what you do on both sides. And I usually use, I will use more than 1 layer, 2 or even 3. If you want to go really strong, then really rigid, and then just do 3 layers of this. But of course, it doesn't hurt to wait between the layers, because if it gets too thick, it takes a long time to dry. And if you have time, that's fine. You can just wait a day maybe. But I find that if I just do 1 layer first and then dry it on the vent, in, I don't know, 2 hours or so, I can put on another layer, and at the end of the day another layer, and the next day it's all dry and workable. So that's the idea. You can just finish that, and let's go to the next step after this. Say you waited that 24 hours, it's all dry and it's all rigid like that. The next step is to add a shaft and a handle to the panel of the umbrella. So I will take my marker, my Sharpie, and just find the center, more or less. It's not gonna be perfect, and it doesn't have to be. Just eyeball it in a way, right? So I'll find the center. It's right there. But I'm gonna make the ribs of the umbrella as well. And the ribs and the shaft will be done with wire. Here we go. I think the center can be moved a bit, probably around here. So you see, it's easy to eyeball it. All right, so I have my wire here. This is from Canadian Tire, 20 gauge steel wire. Try not to get the black one. Unfortunately, I didn't notice, but it's kind of like the ink is coming off, or whatever it's covered with, that black thing, it comes off of it. All right, so I'm just gonna cut with my cutting pliers a piece. That's for the tip end, and I will have to leave some room for the handle, probably like this. And I will be using the same wire to poke a hole in the middle. Let's see if I can do that. All right, this is quite hard. I did a good job. All right, let's see again. Wow, that's not gonna work. Okay, I have some scissors here. Okay, that worked. Now I have to straighten that wire again. Something always has to go wrong, right? That's how it is when you make art and crafts. Something unexpected shows up. Of course, in the middle of my life. All right, so let's put that in there. And the first thing I'm gonna do now is to secure it to the panel with some tape. Like that, from both sides. And I will cover with tape the tip itself as well, because it's really difficult to stick the paper on wire, but the masking tape will make it easy. And I cut the excess there. There we go. And I will do the same on the bottom as well. All right, that's good enough. Then I will cover the shaft. Oh, what's going on here? Try another one. Like that. I need to cover the whole thing and the handle as well. Okay, almost there. All right, now that it's all covered, there's a bit of a gap there. I'm just gonna cover that as well. Now I can bend the handle like that. All right, so we have the whole form now. And well, you don't need to do the ribs, but I mean, it's kind of nice to have the ribs like that, right? So first of all, I'm gonna cut here to get that umbrella form. I'm gonna cut away the paper, and then I'm gonna add the ribs. This is probably the most challenging part. It takes a bit longer to do it, but it's not too bad. So let's just cut away the excess. That. I'm just gonna, I'm rushing it a bit, so it's not perfect, but it can be perfected more if I want to. There we are. Okay, and now I'm gonna get that wire again, and we'll cut pieces for the ribs with my pliers. Where is, okay, here it is. So I'm just gonna attach it like this, bend it a bit like the form, and just cut at the end here, like that. And then take some tape to secure it in place like this, over there as well. And when I'm done, then I will cover, I already made this for you, so that's how it's gonna look. I'm gonna cover all the ribs with masking tape, and once I'm done with that, I'm going back to my strips again. Let's see, I still have enough. Okay, and I will start adding the strips, but just one layer, right? Because I think on my demo piece there, I added more than one layer, and the ribs are not as visible as I would love, but you see here with just one layer, it's really visible, right? Look at that, how nice that is. So that's all you have to do. Basically just cover both sides. I try to follow a vertical direction because it's more aesthetic to me, but it doesn't really matter in the end, I think. So if you're a beginner, don't worry about that. Just make sure that you cover everything. I think I'm gonna stop here because I wanted to show you the finish as well. And of course, I cover the end, the shaft, and the handle as well. Let's just see maybe one piece for the shaft. This is the more difficult part because it's not it's a very thin piece there to cover. Yeah, that's a bit challenging just to start it. But once you start it, things are falling in place. Now on this side, I can add more layers. I can add more layers because that will also make the piece, the shaft, more secure when it hardens. See, I'm reinforcing it at the bottom here until it feels strong enough. And so you finish the whole thing and then you go back and make sure it's nice and strong. You can add more strips around it, which will also help with the strength, like that. 2 layers, 3 layers, two layers I think will do. And now I can feel it. You can feel it with your fingers that it's nice and strong bond. All right, you do that with the tip as well. And now we can move on to the best part. To me at least, it's always fun, the finish part. Now, I usually use acrylic paint, but before I use the paint, before I put the paint on, I will use finish, which could be just white glue, or what I'm using here is Mod Podge. I really like Mod Podge. So, oh, where is my finished piece? Oh, here it is. This is the one I wanted to paint. So you can see here, everything is covered, everything is dry. It's very hard, very hard. So I will put on a layer of this Mod Podge or glue. White glue works fine as well. It's probably cheaper as well. You can pick it up at the dollar store, but my preference is usually Mod Podge, which I buy at Michael's. And one more thing I wanted to tell you regarding paper. What kind of paper is best? Well, all kinds of scrap paper will work fine. Newsprint is fine too. However, you will need a lot more layers. This is just regular print paper, what I'm using here. So 2 or 3 layers are fine with this one, but if you are using newsprint, you will probably need at least 4, I would say, possibly even more. So it's really up to you how hard you want it, but I always like my pieces to be durable, so I make sure that they are really strong and hard, like this one. So even if this piece will fall to the ground, which will, I'm sure, with use, it will not break. It will just, you know, sort of bounce back. That's what happens most of the time. Or if it breaks, it's always fixable. That's the great thing about papier-mâché, right? As opposed to pottery. When you fix pottery, it's gonna show. But with papier-mâché, it will not show. And I think I have quite a few videos of how I fix things. If you are interested, you can just go and explore my playlists. I have shorts that explain these things, and I also have longer videos but not very long, usually just I don't know, around 4 or 5 minutes. I know how everyone is pressed for time nowadays, but yeah, that's why I try to make them shorter, these videos. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop there. Now it needs a little time to dry. While it dries, I will pick a color, and I think I'm gonna go with blue today. I have this very nice blue from Liquitex, light blue, and I already have a red one, so why not go with the blue, right? And I will probably make some orange ones, yellow ones, maybe even pink, who knows, I'm not sure yet. So okay, I better use a different brush for this one. And as you can see here, I started with some black. I covered the whole umbrella with black, and then I removed most of the black for color. All right, so let me get the blue. Don't need a whole lot, I think. Okay, that should do. I'm gonna add a little water, but let me start with the black first. This is an old container, but still good for my purposes. A bit more. A bit water. There are bits there, then lumps that I want to dissolve. All right, I think that's fine. Okay, but this is still drying, and I don't have another one. Maybe I added too much of the glue. Oh yeah, that's way too much. How can I remove some of it? Maybe with a piece of paper. Okay. Meanwhile, I can still finish the rest of it. The tip needs some as well. And the handle and the shaft. I have to tell you, my plan for the future is that maybe I'll have more of these lives, and if you guys like to do these simple things, maybe you can also do it and then post it on my channel. I would love that, to see how others do it. And of course, everyone can use their own imagination. I just try to keep it simple here, but these umbrellas can be painted in different ways with you know, just painted forms on it, maybe stripes, polka dots, I don't know, so many possibilities, right? just use your imagination, and I'm sure they will turn out very, very nice indeed. And I always like to see what others do, and we have this opportunity now on YouTube. On my posts, the community can post as well, not just me, the creator. So any questions you may have, or if you want to show off your piece, that would be great. I would love to do that, to take a look. And yeah, that would make it worthwhile for me, right? That something came out of these sessions. Okay, so now I finished pretty much everything. And dry or not, I will start on the black. Yes, it's all shiny, but when I touch it, I can, if it's still sticky, it's not ready. But this side is already fine. It's not sticky anymore. So I just quickly cover the whole area. You don't have to be a perfectionist here. Just go on and every direction, any direction, just cover all the white spots. And I tried to be a bit fast with this one as much as possible, this part, because when the paint dries, it's a bit harder to take off the excess I want to take off, to wipe off. And how I do it, I just take a wet paper towel, not too wet, not too dry, and just sort of wipe off most of this black color. Maybe I can do the other side a bit too, but you know what, let's not do that part. I don't want to take too much time. Okay, so looks like it's still a bit wet, so you just give it a few more seconds here. And let me show you again the other one. So I will leave some black in the center here around the tip end, and also around the edges here, the edge. And the rest of it can come off, most of it anyway. So I'm just gonna use the cleaner parts like that. Okay, almost there. Don't wanna remove all, just some. And I like how this umbrella, it looks already different from the other one a bit. Like, even if you wanted to, you couldn't get two the same, right? Oh my, I already like this. Okay, so let me take my other brush. The great thing about papier-mâché is that you don't need nice brushes. Please don't spend money on expensive brushes because unfortunately the paper, painting on paper kind of destroys them anyway after a while when you put this glue on and then the paint. Yeah, unfortunately it will wear down your brushes. Look at these, they don't look very good, but they do the job. So why spend a lot of money on it? I usually pick up like sets of brushes at the dollar store for a few bucks, and they last for a while, for a few months for sure. And yeah, so you please don't spend much money on paint, because you can spend it on better things. Right? So here we go. Just try to cover those white areas, not to obsess too much about perfection, just bravely go for it, right? You can even leave a few black spots here and there. I'm still not brave enough, but as I will do more, I think I'm gonna leave more spots alone. Anyway, that's it. Isn't it pretty already? And I will probably add some polka dots to this one. So why not try one or a few? Start with black. Oh wow, not bad at all. Like that. And okay, let's just do the whole thing. And then I'm gonna take some white and just paint oh, not blue, black. Ouch. All right, I can have a bit of blue in the middle. You just wing it sometimes. No mistakes, right? We don't call these mistakes. Just happy accidents, right? Alright. Oh, that's good. Maybe a larger one here. Sometimes when you work fast, you don't have time to obsess about perfection, which is a good thing, right? No, I think it's already kind of cute, but I think the white will sort of make it a bit brighter, happier, showier. And let me just take some white. Do I have my white here? Oh, I don't even have my white here. Just give me a second. All right. I have my white, just a tiny bit of white. I will try to keep it, don't make it too liquidy, right? I wish I had a white marker, that would be the best, but I don't, so I will just have to do this. Oh wow, not bad at all. Of course, it's best to wait until the paint dries, but right now I don't have time for that. Let's try another one here. Okay. How about Wow, I like that. Yeah, it's not dry, so it's gonna turn into gray, but can't wait right now for it to dry, so just keep going. Even if it's a bit gray here and there, it doesn't matter, because it's just a creative thing. It doesn't have to be perfect. A bit more white. And of course I can always go back with more black if I wanted to later on. I will probably do that. But I kind of like it like this as well. The imperfections are actually quite nice. All right, almost done. So all that's left is the other side. The same thing can be done, and then just finish the shaft and handle with black or gray or something like that. I can always go back and add a bit of black for the ribs if I want to accentuate that, you know, just a bit. Oh, it's a bit too strong. Like this. Just a bit of accent on it. And yeah, and then if it's too much, I go back again with a bit more blue. Like this part got a bit too much of the black. Just keep playing, basically. Can't go wrong, right? Just keep playing and have fun and make someone happy with a nice Christmas ornament. All right, I think that's it. Thank you guys for your attention, and please come back for some more.